Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a strong uptrend. The price has consistently tested the support level of $85,500 and bounced back, while the forecast indicates continued upward momentum towards $102,500. The RSI values have fluctuated between 49.7 and 69.6, indicating periods of both neutral and slightly overbought conditions. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has recently been approaching the upper band, suggesting a potential pullback. Therefore, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $95,700. A stop loss should be placed slightly below the recent low at $93,200 to protect against a potential correction. The target price for this trade will be $101,900, aligning with the forecast high and allowing for a significant profit margin. We will use a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands to manage this position. If the RSI reaches 80, consider taking partial profits to secure gains. If the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, a slight pullback is expected, which can be utilized to re-enter with a lower entry price. This strategy aims to capitalize on the prevailing uptrend while mitigating risks through strategic stop-loss placement and profit-taking based on technical indicators. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum exhibits an overall upward trend. The price has consistently tested the support level of $3,080, and the forecast indicates a continued climb towards $3,480. The RSI values fluctuate between 50 and 68, suggesting periods of both neutral and slightly overbought conditions. Considering the recent upward momentum and the forecast, I recommend a long position. The entry price should be set at $3,250, coinciding with the initial forecast price. To mitigate risk, a stop-loss order should be placed just below the support level at $3,070. For the target price, we can aim for $3,470, aligning with the upper end of the forecast range, offering a substantial potential return. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price has been trading within the bands, and a breakout above the upper band could signal further upward movement. Given the RSI nearing overbought territory, we'll adjust the target price to $3,380 to avoid potential pullbacks. Therefore, the final strategy is a long position with an entry price of $3,250, a stop loss at $3,070, and a target price of $3,380. This approach combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands confirmation to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB demonstrates a clear uptrend, consistently testing and surpassing its resistance levels. The RSI values have generally been above 50, indicating bullish momentum, with recent readings nearing 70, suggesting a potential overbought condition. The Bollinger Bands show the price fluctuating within a widening range, recently approaching the upper band, further supporting a bullish outlook. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $933, placing a stop-loss order at $896, just below the established support level. The initial target price will be $979, aligning with the forecast for January 21, 2026. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we'll enter a long position at the prevailing price, setting a stop loss at $896 and a target price at $982. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we'll initiate a long position at that price, with a stop loss at $896 and a target price of $982. Given the current conditions, the primary strategy of entering at $933 remains the most efficient, with adjustments based on RSI and Bollinger Band confirmations for enhanced risk management and potential profit maximization. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows an overall upward trend with some volatility. The RSI consistently fluctuating around the 50 to 75 range suggests the asset is neither significantly oversold nor overbought. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of increased volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper band. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy focusing on short-term momentum and breakouts. I recommend entering a long position at $2.12 on January 15, 2026, coinciding with the forecast price and a slight upward movement. Place a stop-loss order at $2.08, just below the support price of $2.11, to limit potential losses. Set a target price at $2.24, aligning with the forecast price on January 21, 2026, aiming for a profitable exit. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, consider a long entry. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 75, suggesting an overbought condition, a short position might be considered. Furthermore, if the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, it signals a potential breakout, warranting a long entry. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it indicates a potential support level, also suggesting a long entry. Combining these signals with the forecast data, a conservative approach is to enter a long position at $2.12, set a stop-loss at $2.08, and target $2.24. This blended strategy balances risk and reward, capitalizing on both forecast trends and technical indicators. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana exhibits a clear upward trend. The price has consistently been above the $140 support level, and the forecast indicates a continued rise towards $153. The RSI has been fluctuating between 47.7 and 67.6, suggesting periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price is currently near the upper band, indicating potential for a pullback, but the overall momentum remains positive. Therefore, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $143. A stop-loss should be placed at $140 to protect against a sudden downturn, and a target price of $153, aligning with the forecast, should be set to secure profits. To optimize the strategy, I propose a combined approach utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will initiate a long position at $143. If the RSI drops below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will hold the position, anticipating a rebound. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we will consider a partial profit taking at $145, while maintaining a stop-loss at $140. The primary target remains $153, capitalizing on the projected upward trend. This blended strategy balances risk and reward, leveraging both technical indicators for enhanced decision-making. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows an overall upward trend, supported by consistent price action near the resistance level of $0.307. The RSI consistently remains above 50, indicating bullish momentum, though occasionally approaching overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy focusing on pullbacks to support. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $0.304, coinciding with the initial forecast price and near the established support level. A stop-loss will be placed at $0.298, just below the support, to limit potential losses. The target price is set at $0.308, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a reasonable price increase based on recent trends. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $0.298, with a stop-loss at $0.28 and a target price of $0.307. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 75, indicating an overbought condition, we will consider exiting the position or taking profits. Combining these approaches, the portfolio will be diversified to maximize returns while managing risk. The most efficient strategy will be the long position at $0.304 with a stop-loss at $0.298 and a target price of $0.308, as it aligns with the prevailing trend and offers a favorable risk-reward ratio. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a slight upward trend. The price has been fluctuating between a support of $0.137 and a resistance of $0.149. The RSI has been oscillating around the mid-level, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of consolidation, but the forecast indicates a potential breakout above the resistance level. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. My strategy involves a long position with an entry price of $0.146 on January 15, 2026. The RSI is currently below 80, so there's room for upward movement. The stop loss will be set at $0.137, just below the support level, to protect against potential downside risk. The target price is $0.156, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. This strategy aims to capitalize on the predicted upward movement while minimizing risk through a well-defined stop loss. I believe this approach offers a balanced opportunity for high returns with calculated risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a slight upward trend. The price has been fluctuating between a support of $0.386 and a resistance of $0.454. The RSI indicates that the asset is generally within a neutral range, occasionally dipping slightly into oversold territory but quickly recovering. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility and potential price consolidation. We will implement a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands to capitalize on short-term price movements. Our strategy involves a tiered approach. First, we will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, with an entry price of $0.386. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.376 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be set at the resistance level of $0.454. If the price reaches this target, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $0.386 to secure profits and protect against a potential reversal. If the price continues to rise and touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider taking partial profits at $0.437 and adjust the stop loss accordingly. This strategy aims to capture gains from short-term bounces while managing risk through strategic stop loss placement. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH exhibits a strong upward trend, consistently breaking through resistance levels and supported by the forecast prices. The RSI fluctuates, but generally stays above 50, indicating bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been trending outside the upper band for the last few days, suggesting a potential for continued upward movement. Therefore, I propose a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $3,540, placing a stop-loss order at $3,570, just above the support level. Our target price will be $3,790, aligning with the forecast price for January 21, 2026. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI drops below 20, which is not indicated in the historical data, we will consider exiting the position or tightening the stop-loss. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80, which has occurred several times, we will consider taking partial profits. The core strategy remains a long position capitalizing on the upward trend, with adjustments based on RSI and Bollinger Bands to manage risk and maximize returns. This combination of trend analysis, forecast data, and technical indicators should yield high returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a fluctuating trend with periods of consolidation and minor upward movement. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the mid-range, indicating neither strong bullish nor bearish momentum. However, the recent RSI values have dipped towards the oversold level of 20, particularly on January 14, 2026, at 45.8, suggesting a potential short-term bounce. Considering the support level at $567 and the forecast prices, I propose a long position strategy. Enter a long position at $597, placing a stop-loss order at $567 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price is set at $620, aiming for a moderate profit based on the forecast and recent resistance levels. To refine the strategy, we incorporate Bollinger Bands analysis. The price has recently touched the lower band, indicating a potential rebound. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, which is currently around $662, we can adjust the target price to $643. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach aims to capitalize on short-term fluctuations while minimizing risk. The portfolio will prioritize the long position strategy with adjustments based on Bollinger Band signals, offering a balanced approach to potential gains and risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, Aster shows a fluctuating trend with recent consolidation around the $0.7 mark. The RSI consistently hovers between 36.5 and 50.9, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the forecast suggests a slight downward pressure initially, potentially reaching $0.7. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has been oscillating within the bands, indicating moderate volatility. The strategy will be a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 20 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Conversely, we will initiate a short position when the RSI rises above 80 and the price touches the upper Bollinger Band. Given the current conditions, we will implement a long strategy. The RSI on January 14, 2026, was 47.2, and the price is currently at $0.741. We will wait for a pullback. If the price drops to $0.686 and the RSI falls below 20, we will enter a long position at $0.686. The stop loss will be set at $0.67, just below the support level, and the target price will be $0.792, the resistance level. This strategy aims to capitalize on potential rebounds from the support level, with a conservative stop loss to manage risk. If the forecast is correct and the price drops to $0.7, we will wait for the RSI to fall below 20 and enter the position at $0.686. Based on the historical data and forecast, Morpho demonstrates a clear uptrend with increasing momentum. The price has consistently bounced off the support price of $1.27 and approached the resistance price of $1.49. The RSI values have generally increased, indicating strengthening buying pressure, though occasionally dipping into oversold territory below 40. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently trading near the upper band, suggesting a potential for further upward movement. Considering this, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $1.34, placing a stop-loss order at $1.27 to protect against a potential downturn. Our target price will be $1.48, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated upward trend. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands indicators. When the RSI falls below 35.5, signaling an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $1.34. The stop loss will remain at $1.27. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it also signals a potential buying opportunity. The target price remains $1.48. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to enhance our chances of a high return. This portfolio offers a balanced approach, combining trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Band confirmation for optimized risk-reward management. Based on the historical data and forecast, Jupiter shows a slight upward trend. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the mid-range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the forecast for the next week predicts a continued upward movement, potentially reaching $0.241. Considering the support price of $0.23 and the resistance of $0.255, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.223, placing a stop-loss order at $0.217 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.24, aiming to capitalize on the predicted upward momentum. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price consistently stays within the bands, suggesting moderate volatility. If the price touches the lower band around $0.184, it could be an opportunity to enter a long position. However, given the forecast, we will prioritize the initial entry. If the price reaches $0.232, we'll move the stop loss to the entry price of $0.223, securing profits. Finally, if the price breaks through the $0.24 target, we'll adjust the target to $0.255, aiming to reach the resistance level. This combined approach leverages both RSI and Bollinger Bands for a more robust and adaptive investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, DoubleZero exhibits a slightly upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI fluctuates between 43.2 and 57.3, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions consistently. The Bollinger Bands show price movement within a range, with the recent price nearing the upper band. Considering the forecast prices, which predict a rise to 0.130, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 45 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, aiming to capitalize on potential rebounds. The entry price for this trade will be $0.122, coinciding with the support level and a potential RSI oversold signal. A stop-loss order will be placed at $0.118, just below the lower Bollinger Band to mitigate potential losses if the price continues to decline. The target price will be set at $0.130, aligning with the forecast and the resistance level, offering a substantial profit margin. This strategy combines technical indicators to identify high-probability entry points, manage risk effectively with a tight stop-loss, and aim for a significant return based on anticipated price appreciation. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chiliz shows a clear upward trend. The price has been consistently making higher highs and higher lows, and the forecast for the next week indicates continued growth. The RSI is generally above 60, suggesting bullish momentum, with occasional forays into overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, indicating increased volatility and potentially larger price swings. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.0525, coinciding with the first forecast price. The stop-loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.050 to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be $0.0586, aligning with the highest forecast price for the week. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI levels. If the price retraces and the RSI dips below 30, consider adding to the position at $0.048. This would take advantage of a potential oversold bounce. If the price reaches the target of $0.0586, we'll move the stop-loss to break even at $0.0525 to lock in profits and allow the trade to run further. If the price continues to rise, we can adjust the target price to $0.06 based on the resistance level. This portfolio combines trend analysis, forecast data, and technical indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Pump.fun shows a generally upward trend with some volatility. The recent RSI values hover around the mid-50s, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the forecast suggests a continued upward trajectory, with prices expected to reach $0.00302. Considering the support at $0.00252 and resistance at $0.00284, combined with the Bollinger Bands indicating potential price fluctuations, I recommend a long position strategy. The strategy will be a hybrid approach, integrating RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. We will enter a long position at $0.00256, coinciding with the first forecast price and near the established support level. To manage risk, a stop-loss will be set at $0.00244, just below the recent low and within the lower Bollinger Band. The initial target price will be $0.0027, aligning with the resistance level. If the price breaks through the resistance and continues upward, we will adjust the target price to $0.003, capitalizing on the bullish forecast. This strategy aims to capture short-term gains while mitigating potential losses through strategic stop-loss placement. Based on the historical data and forecast, Zcash has shown considerable volatility. The price dropped significantly from January 8, 2026, to January 13, 2026, reaching a low of $375, and the RSI dipped to 35.3, indicating an oversold condition. Subsequently, the price recovered to $447 on January 14, 2026, with the RSI rising to 49.8. The forecast for the next week suggests a continued upward trend, with prices ranging from $440 to $467. Considering the support at $421 and the resistance at $488, I recommend a long position entry at $440. A stop loss should be placed at $421 to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price is $457, aligning with the forecast high and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the price approaches the $488 resistance level and the RSI reaches 80, consider taking partial profits. Conversely, if the price falls below the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI drops below 20, consider closing the position or adjusting the stop loss to the lower Bollinger Band. For the remaining position, a secondary target price of $467 can be set, coinciding with the final forecast price. This dynamic approach, combining trend analysis, support and resistance levels, and technical indicators, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, DEC exhibits a clear upward trend, particularly evident in the recent price surge from $15.7 to $22.6. The RSI consistently moved above 50, indicating positive momentum. The forecast predicts continued growth, reaching $22.5 by January 21, 2026. Combining the RSI and Bollinger Bands, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $18.4, placing a stop-loss order at $16.4 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $20.8, aiming to capitalize on the short-term upward momentum. To maximize potential returns, we will implement a dynamic target price strategy. Once the price reaches $20.8, we will move the stop-loss to break-even, $18.4, and set a new target price of $22.5, aligning with the forecast and support level. This approach allows us to secure profits while participating in further potential upside. If the price continues to rise beyond $22.5, we will consider trailing the stop-loss to lock in profits and potentially extend the target price further. This portfolio combines technical indicators and forecast data to create a high-return investment strategy with defined risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, Internet Computer shows a clear upward trend, especially with the recent surge to $4.51 and the projected increase to $4.59. Considering the RSI reaching 75.8, indicating overbought conditions, we should implement a strategy that balances risk and potential reward. I recommend a combined approach using RSI and Bollinger Bands. Initially, we'll take a cautious long position at $3.71, placing a stop-loss at $3.62 to protect against a potential pullback. The target price will be set at $4.38, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a comfortable profit margin. To further capitalize on the anticipated upward momentum, we'll implement a second strategy triggered by the RSI. If the price reaches $4.18 and the RSI dips below 80, we'll enter a second long position at $4.18, with a stop-loss at $4.09 and a target price of $4.59. This strategy allows us to capture additional gains as the price continues its ascent. This portfolio combines the initial cautious entry with a follow-up opportunity to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dash demonstrates a clear upward trend, particularly evident in the recent surge from $37.3 to $79.7. The RSI consistently moved above 50, indicating bullish momentum, and the forecast prices predict continued growth, reaching $84.1. Given the strong upward trajectory, I recommend a long position strategy. We will utilize a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals to refine our entry and exit points. The initial entry point will be $56.3, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period and near the support level. A stop-loss order will be placed at $54.3, slightly below the bottom of the Bollinger Bands on January 14, 2026, to protect against potential downside risk. The first target price will be $67.1, aligning with the forecast price for January 18, 2026. Subsequent target prices will be $77.6 and $84.1, corresponding to the forecast prices for January 20th and 21st, 2026, respectively. To further optimize the strategy, we will incorporate RSI levels. If the RSI falls below $37, which is near the oversold level, we will consider accumulating more positions at $35.3, the bottom of the Bollinger Bands on January 14, 2026, with a stop loss at $33.3 and a target price of $43.4. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds $77, which is near the overbought level, we will consider taking partial profits at $70.8, with a stop loss at $67.1 and a target price of $77.6. This tiered approach, combining forecast prices, support and resistance levels, and RSI signals, aims to maximize returns while minimizing risk, creating a robust and adaptive investment portfolio for Dash.